This is the Be More podcast. I am your host, Jack Williams, and this is a show all about health, nutrition, mindset, and performing at our very best. And this is going to be your catalyst to being more. Welcome to episode number 73 of the Be More podcast. I'm joined again today by Mr. Danny Freppleton, and this time he's not in Fiji, he's in my living room. And he was just telling me about the view he had last time we did the podcast. Not quite as good here in Southsea, mate, but
it's still up there though. Costa del Southsea, it still looks
Costa del Southsea. But yes, mate, before we bring you onto the podcast for a second time, after such good feedback, and we wanted to go more personal with this podcast. So,
yeah.
How did you find the last podcast, mate? What was your feedback you had from your friends and family?
Yeah, it was good. I think there's probably some of my mates that are just like, oh, he's talking about Fiji again, and then but I don't mind. I love chatting about it. But yeah, I got lots of good feedback. Obviously, I heard back from my workmates that UK side in Leeds that someone had actually signed up.
Yeah. So a mate of mine's actually going out to.
So that was amazing. I didn't expect that at all. We sort of joked about it, didn't we? After oh, maybe next year I might see someone that's watched the podcast. So I was surprised how quickly that went around. But yeah, lots of my friends and family and workmates and even Fijians had commented on it and said it was good to hear me share my story and stuff, because even when I always know how I got to there, that I went out there and volunteered first, so it was cool to share that with them.
Quality, mate. So now, what are you doing here?
Well, I'm back on my holidays, mate. Just come back. I normally come back. I normally have like a week off in September when I'm in Fiji, just have a break there, just from work, and that's sort of when it starts quieting down before we finish off like the third part of the year. It's sort of in sections how I work throughout the year, and then I'll come back. I got here on the 9th of December, and I'm here till the 4th of Jan, so it's just here to see family, mates.
Nice.
And have a little catch up. It's nice.
We were saying how busy you've been, and you haven't really had a chance for a rest, have you? Because I know the Fijian culture is a bit different, isn't it, with work? It's just your job, because here the 9 to 5 is Monday to Friday. Yeah. People get their evenings and weekends off. They get their mornings to themselves if they decide to get up early enough. Yeah. Whereas with you, it's like you're 7 days a week, aren't you, most of the time? Yeah,
pretty much. Sunday's like a day of rest in Fiji. Obviously, to do with their religion, they call it their Sabbath. So we always have Sundays off, even if we are out in the field working somewhere. It's a church day for them, so people don't go to the farm. They won't go and work. Oh, okay. They're just at home.
So even like shops and that shut?
Shops and that are all pretty much shut. In the cities you might have a few, but it'll be very quiet when you walk about. Yeah, I remember my family came over to Fiji to come and see me and stuff, and we were it worked out the Sunday, we weren't at a hotel, we were in Suva where I lived, and I took my mum out to have a look around the shops and stuff like that, and everything was closed, so we just had a walk about and then went back.
So on Sunday they shut everything down?
Pretty much, yeah. And even there'll be like supermarkets and that open.
A gym's open?
They close earlier. Gym's not open.
Really?
Yeah. The gym that I go to anyway is not open. Metro gym.
So on a Sunday, do you just literally chill?
Just chill.
Everyone proper chill?
Yeah, normally as well, like for parts of the year, if I am in Suva, I'll play rugby on Saturdays, so Sundays I'm normally a bit beat up and it is a proper rest day. But yeah, it's a big thing as well in the Ministry of Health in Fiji. It's part of their they have like 7 things that they talk about, and one of them's the spiritual side. So that's their day for everything church, and they just rest in there with their families. I'm not religious myself, but my partner is. I don't normally go much when I'm in Suva. Sometimes we'll go with her family, because her father's actually a pastor in his area, so he's a bit of a priest. So we'll go along to that. But normally I'll go if I'm in the village and I'm working and I'm there on a Sunday. I'll respect their Sabbath and I'll go along. Yeah. Have a little sing song, and yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Nice, mate.
Yeah.
So do you get like, strange question, but do you get like entrepreneurs in Fiji, and will they obey by the Sunday rest day? Because entrepreneurs don't have days off.
Yeah, I think if there's, I don't know myself, I'm trying to think if I know anyone there. Yeah, if it's a Fijian entrepreneur, I can guarantee if they'll be religious and it's
they will still rest on Sunday.
Yeah, I think their mindset would be if they don't have that, they're not get the fruits of their labour in the other areas of their life. So it's the balance. I think that's where I see it. Yeah. And even I feel it when I'm there. There are benefits. You go all out on those days, and then Sunday's a time you can reflect. You can be with your family, your friends. You can go down a little bit and rest.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Interesting. What other like culture? I know we weren't going to talk about Fiji much, but the culture differences are there from that? Obviously, you've been back now for a few weeks. Yeah. Has anything been heightened where you're like, wow, that's so different to what I'm used to.
Yeah, there's so many things that are different. It's literally on the other side of the world, isn't it? So there's always going to be. But I'd say, if you want to find out about everything, if you ever meet a Fijian, ask them, because they love to talk about their culture and stuff. So, and especially in Portsmouth and around, you're always going to find them in the Navy, in the Army. They're always about. So if anyone does know any, ask them, and you'll find out loads. But I asked my partner the other day when we were just heading into town, and I said, "Oh, what shocked you the most so far? Like, what's been something that's really different that you've noticed?" And she said about kindness and being people, how friendly people are.
Well, they're more friendly here.
Not that people aren't not friendly here, but in Fiji you can meet an absolute stranger and you can speak to them for 5 minutes and they'll always say hello to strangers and they'll think you're best mates. I'm really bad at it. I'll meet people for 10 minutes doing work or at rugby or something, and then they'll see me in town or see me about and they'll say hello. And they're like, "Danny, how you doing, mate?" All this sort of stuff, and I'm like, "I can't remember who you are," and I feel really bad. But that's what they're like. They remember everyone.
Really,
and they're really friendly. So here, walking about, people don't really speak to strangers, do they? So even when I come back, I'm sort of built into it now. When you walk past people in the street, if you catch eyes, they'll say hello as they walk past. They'll say, "Oh, bulla," like that, which means like hello. Loads of other things. It's sort of like saying life.
So everyone says hello to everyone.
Everyone. Absolutely everyone. You might get the few that walk past and they might just give you a little nod, but they just notice you.
So even if a Fijian's having a really bad day, they still say hello to everyone?
100% they would, yeah. And I think with Fijians you wouldn't be able to tell if they're having a bad day most of the time. They keep that all in.
Do they?
And they always give their best, yeah. All the time. You might be able to see it when you're a bit closer to someone, but on the face of it you wouldn't be able to see.
Really?
They're always happy. Yeah, a lot of Fijians keep it in, and they'll talk to their family members maybe about it, but yeah, if you were meeting on the street, it'd be very hard unless something really bad happened. But if shit day at work, they're still going to say hello and be nice.
Wow.
Yeah, friendliest place in the world, mate.
Do you miss it since you've been back?
It's a bit different now because normally I come on my own, and obviously my missus stays there.
Yeah. So you'd miss her?
Yeah, miss being there with them. But now she's come with me this time and got to see it for the first time. I've sort of it's most time
excited, yeah.
Yeah, but normally by the time I'm about to get on the flight, I'm excited to go back and get working again. I know it's only a short time, so I spend most of my time there now. So it's nice. I miss here more when I'm away, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I spend most of my time there.
Right, mate. I've got some questions for you. So we're going to, rather than talk about Fiji, because I could ask you questions about that all day. I'm going to ask some questions directly to you to try and give like the listeners some tangibles so they can go in action, rather than just think Fiji's an amazing place.
Yeah.
Which is what everyone seems to be doing after trying to apply to go out there and volunteer next year. So, what is the book you've given most as a gift and why?
For me, I gave a gift for my niece. I think it was last Christmas, I think it was, when I came back. It's a book called Bounce. I can't even remember who it was by now. Wish I could, but it's quite a popular book, and I first read it when I was at university because through the coaching and stuff. And you've definitely heard some of the things it talks about practice, the power of practice, the power of purposeful practice, the 10,000 hours. That's what it sort of goes down. And it's basically about a guy who read it is an ex-table tennis GB champion.
Wow.
I think in the 90s it was. And he was looking back on why him and his brother in this small little place in England had got to the levels they had, and they were like examining his practice and looking at other sports as well. And his was table tennis, and he used to beat all the Chinese people, and anyone that doesn't really watch that sport knows the Chinese are unbelievable at it.
Yeah.
Really quick reflexes and stuff like that. But he used to beat those Chinese people, and people would say he had the quickest reflexes. But when he'd go into like sports testing and stuff like that to test his reflexes in the table tennis house, they had like the little reaction buttons that come up. You might see Anthony Joshua and that doing it.
Yeah.
And he got the lowest score, and all his mates were taking the piss out of him. And he's like, "What is it then? What is it that makes me have those reactions in table tennis?" And it worked out. Him and his brother used to go and practice every day at school. Their mum and dad bought him a table tennis table and put it in their garage. Yeah. So when they were stood at either end of the table, there was no room really to move back against the walls. Yeah. So they were really close. They were practiced all the time, hours every day after school, playing really close to the table. Yeah. So that's where they say we had over 10,000 hours practice playing like that. So then when we apply it to the table, we're a bit quicker with our reflexes because we don't we can't take a few steps back and have a hit and stuff like that. So it looks at lots of different sports, and it just, for me, it was gifted by one of my old coaches through rugby, and then I've kept it, applied it to what I do when I coach, but also when I've played in practice.
Yeah.
I used to read it before I went to training sessions at uni and with Portswood Rugby Club as well. I used to just read little sections, and then it changed my mindset going into training. Then I'd be switched on being, I'd always say, purposeful practice, not just going through the motions, but thinking, oh, how's this going to apply in a game? Why am I doing this? And making sure every time I ran and just did a normal passing drill, I was playing like I was in a game. And that's how I've always done it.
That's interesting, because I reckon if I look back on all my training sessions that I've had for football, I've always gone in through the motions. I've never gone into a training session thinking I'm going to get something from this.
Yeah.
Unless it was to try and win in the match at the end.
Yeah.
I want to win.
Yeah, it's important. You've got to think about it as a coach as well when you're working with small kids or elite athletes. You see it now with people like Paul Pogba, people like that. They're talking about it now, aren't they, with Manchester United and others? What's their mindset like? They're turning up in Ferraris. Yeah. They live in this high life. Are they really focused on what's going on there? And I always watch football training sometimes. And again, they're elite athletes. They're at the top of their game.
What are they saying about Pogba at the minute? I've not heard that.
Well, just the mindset going into training stuff.
Has he said something, has he, or not?
I've not seen him say anything, but I know that's something like Gary Neville and that are talking about their mindset. Roy Keane talking about the mindset.
Yeah, I heard him slating Jesse Lingard, wasn't he?
But then I watched a documentary the other day about George Best. Yeah. And he'd be at football every single day. Yeah. Training, and then he'd be washing his boots, cleaning his boots for his idols, and then he'd be football again. Do you know what I mean? Obviously later on he tore away a little bit, but I think it's a really important thing that I bet even elite athletes don't always get it right. It's a hard, like you said, when you go to training and stuff, there's loads of distractions. If there's one person in the group pissing about, they're going to distract you. It's the same in the classroom.
An interesting topic. Like we could probably talk about this all day, but like if you were a professional sportsman, where your career is 15 years long, let's say for example, are you not going to try and maximise what you can get out of it and the brand you can build whilst you're in the game through what we've got now, which is social media, which is obviously what people like Jesse Lingard, Paul Pogba are doing. And then I can understand what Roy Keane's saying, but he played in an era where it didn't exist. And secondly, he's now earning an income through media. He's now the guy on Sky Sports. So is he not a hypocrite by saying that? And I support both points he's making here. Yeah. But I also think what Lingard's doing is good for kids as well, to aspire to be like a brand as well as their. I think he's doing good things.
Definitely, because that's how the sports people make their money. That's where the longevity comes in. Like you said, in football, if you get a kick in the knee, like Roy Keane did to some people, that's your career done, isn't it? So you got to get ready. I think for me though, the important bit is that it's that purposeful practice, and it's a mental thing. Yeah, definitely. When you're going in it. Yeah, but are you going to when you go into a job? Whether you go into whatever you've been doing, when you've been doing it for years, you can get complacent, you get second nature, so you're not putting anything new into it. So you've always got to do it. I find it in my job now, I've been doing it nearly 5 years. I want to make sure I'm hungry for it all the time, and I'm trying to make it better all the time. There's never going to be, our mindset, there's never going to be a time when we're like, we've got the winning formula here. You want to keep pushing it. But that's mindset, and that's having purpose every day in what you do.
Do you follow football quite a lot?
I like football, but I don't follow it too much.
What do you make of the Man United saga at the moment? Because obviously, if you're listening to this now, this is December. They've just sacked Mourinho. Well, they're playing really badly, and Keane's obviously slamming the players, saying their attitude's not right.
I think I always look at it from like a coaching perspective. I think he's obviously had plenty of time there. No one can doubt what he's done, but it's obviously a team issue. Yeah. The cohesion between the management and the team is not working. No. Something's not going on, but it's really hard. I don't know how people have so many opinions on it, because we can't see what's going on every day.
That's what
There's no way to see it. No. You see those little whispers and stuff they have on the. I think there was that thing with Mourinho and Pogba, weren't there? Yeah. They obviously weren't getting on, but we don't know what they were saying. No. That might have been the media portraying it that way, but really it might have been a disagreement about something.
Plus, it's just men, isn't it? In a sporting environment, you're going to get agreements, disagreements, banter.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, I think for me, if they give managers enough time to try and do what they obviously have proved time and time again they can do, there's no arguments for me, but they obviously need a bit of change. Yeah, I don't even think it's Mourinho. I think it is just that team needs something different. Yeah,
and the problem is they had Ferguson for so long, they're trying to find that replacement, and they aren't going to get one for that guy. He was a legend of the game.
Yeah, another great book I've read by Alex Ferguson.
Is that good? I've got it on my side.
It's amazing.
It's called Leading, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Really, really good, yeah. I absolutely loved it. So again, for coaching, it was quite funny because I used to work at a bar. I think I mentioned worked at Toby Carvery.
Yeah.
And I've always talked about I love working with people. It's all about people. So I see it in my coaching now. I always feel like I'm a good judge of character because I've worked with lots of different kids or adults coaching, but also working at the bar.
Yeah.
And Fergie used to be a bar owner, I think it said in there, in Scotland. Yeah. While he was coaching the lower levels, he owned and worked behind a bar.
Wow.
Yeah, and he says that's why he's so good at working with people. He knows when to push their buttons and not. Yeah. He saw so many different characters coming in for a beer.
Yeah.
He got to learn it, and then when he applied that to football, it sort of just made sense.
It's interesting because he always got rid of players who started to become a character that was like bigger than the club almost, like Beckham, got rid of him.
Yeah.
Van Nistelrooy started getting a bit, got rid of him. Do you know? Or Jaap Stam, got rid of him.
He's not going to stand for egos. And
yeah,
stuff
so
like
would he be the kind of person to have Lingard and Pogba and all of these names?
He wouldn't have been able to deal with them. He might not been able to relate to them.
But they've just brought in Solskjaer, who said he's going to build a team around Pogba. And Mourinho wouldn't even play him. Yeah. So it's interesting, isn't it? Yeah. I think he's a really good player.
Yeah.
So I'm interested, but this is a debate we've gone about forever. But you just mentioned that book. So what are the 1 to 3 books that greatly influenced your life?
So I'd definitely say Bounce for coaching purposes and playing purposes. Like playing is a big hobby of mine as well. I love it. So that's
even if you're not in sport, would you still say it was a good book to read?
Yeah, because it's practice, isn't it? 10,000 hours. You can talk about that in your own business. If you spend over 10,000 hours on a business plan, it's going to be better than if you just put the first idea on paper and run with it.
That's the
there's 2 ways to go though, aren't there? You can do that and go and learn it along the way, and you might do your 10,000 hours of failing and getting better.
Yeah.
But you can also do that, and then you've got that failing bit after. That's how I might see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do it in your job. Do you know what I mean? Everyone gets better, even if you're working at a supermarket. 10,000 hours, you're going to get a bit quicker. You're going to get a bit better.
It's the tipping point theory, isn't it? 10,000 hours.
Yeah, and again, not everyone agrees with that, and it's not dead on. Do you know what I mean? But I think if you're doing 10,000 hours or something, you're going to get better, aren't you?
Is it 4 hours a day for 5 years? That's 10,000 hours, isn't it?
I'm all for the maths. I need more 10,000 hours of maths. But
you carry on with the books. I'm going to try and work it out because I really want to know that.
It's something like that.
That's one book.
Far off.
4 times 3, 6, 5 times 5. 7,500. So it's the 6 years.
Yeah, but even with that,
4 hours a day. If you're in a full-time job, it takes you 2.5 years to get good at it, as long as it was purposeful practice, right?
Purposeful practice, yeah.
Whereas
so
if you're just going through the motions, you aren't then going to become an expert. With you.
Yeah, so that's how I've always looked at it, and it's worked out. I'm not a world-beater rugby player, but I feel like I'm confident in certain skills of the game. Like I play in the scrum, so scrummaging, I've still got a bit of a way to go.
And you play at quite a high level in Fiji, don't you?
Decent level, yeah. It's like club rugby there. They don't really have the same setup of rugby there, but it's like the highest league for like club rugby there.
Nice. Any other books?
Again, for me, I was mentioned before, Seventh Heaven with Ben Ryan. He's a big idol of mine, coaching wise, and he actually left England to go and coach in Fiji. And I just love the story and the message in there, where he stripped everything down, went somewhere and went back to just people, rather than all the noise that you get around like rugby at the elite level, all the performance analysis, all the video analysis, all this stuff that you've got to get them better, stronger physically and mentally, but also when you're working with them, coaching, just stripping that bare and focusing on the people that he had to work with and what made them tick. That's how he got the best out of them. And I think he used to take him on the sand dunes. I think I told you I think it's called Seventh Heaven as well. If you look on there, it's like HSBC on YouTube. There's a story of his training camp and stuff like that. It's amazing. Yeah, if you look in there, like Seventh Heaven, and it's like HSBC, I think it pops up. It's really, really good. We'll try and find the link, eh? See if we can put it in there. It's really interesting. But yeah, Seventh Heaven, really easy read, but it's about his story day to day and his life when he came to Fiji. At first, I think in 2013 or 14, which is when I actually started there properly working.
So did you get the book when you was in Fiji?
Yeah, I got it. It came out mid this year, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think he's got an audio book as well. It's amazing. Yeah. Ryan, really cool guy, amazing coach.
Nice.
Yeah, one of my idols. Really good book.
One more
book. I definitely need to read more. I think that's something one of my goals I've written down for next year. Read a little bit more.
Do you normally read more like sport-specific coaching books?
Yeah, so I've read loads of books on like to do with coaching and stuff like that. we were saying before, I haven't read much about like personal development and stuff like that, which is something I will look more at.
See, I'm the opposite. I've obviously in a coaching background as well for a long time. I won't read that much on coaching, but I'll read a lot in like leadership and personal development.
Yeah.
Which I think this all fits in anyway, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm not too sure on another book.
Okay, mate, no worries.
But those two have really impacted me, I think.
And the Ferguson book, you said.
And the Ferguson book was amazing, yeah. Really good story.
What purchase of £100 or less has most positively impacted your life? I'm just throwing this one on you. These are questions that I've not pre-warned Dan with. So if you made a purchase of like less than anyone can afford, that has massively positively impacted your life.
£100 or less?
Yeah.
Oh, that takes the Fiji flight out of the way then, because that's bloody expensive.
Okay, so that would be the most positive thing
I've ever bought.
Flying to Fiji.
Yeah, cause it's massively changed my life. It's shaped it to what it is now. Like it started everything.
Yeah, but we've covered that mainly in the first podcast, didn't we? So go back on that if you want to figure out why he went to Fiji. But yeah, then there's no like maybe app, or there's no like nothing that you use a lot that's completely been a game changer for you. It could be a bit of training equipment or whatever it might be. Should we come back to that?
Yeah, I want to say like two things for me. I'd say it'd be like rugby boots, and then maybe like the gym membership. I know it sounds like quite simple, but it's something I've not always had. I think we were chatting a little bit before, and I said, before I used to just I'd be given a training plan for Mart as a prop, and I'd just do it. And then I'd go home, and you'd see my mates in there doing extras and all go in their own time. I would just go and do what I needed to do, squats, bent over rows and that. And then I'd lob them about and I'd go home. I hated it. But then you can see, I can remember like that's sort of when I was at uni, like mentally I needed more of something else to, like I see it now where I've got a constant gym and I always go. I've made it a thing now, a routine to go. I love it. And I wouldn't be up, like I always talk to my mate back in Fiji about, like it just sorts your mentality out sometimes. Yeah, definitely. When you've got that noise going on, you're really busy and there's things going wrong, there's things going good, whatever it is. You can go for a run on the treadmill, go for a run along the seafront, or you go to the gym and grind it out a little bit. And everything goes a bit quieter after. So they're like staples, and they're things that are quite cheap for me out there. But without them, you wouldn't be able to get those other things. Definitely. Seem like simple things, don't they? Like
it's true though.
Something special about when now I'm in Fiji, when all the boys are running about playing touch, and you go for your training in the week and you're lacing your boots out, and then you run out there, and it's just so much good fun there. I think people take exercise massively for granted, because obviously we train for like vanity or performance, but really it's not for either of them, it's for how you feel in your head. And mainly for me, like my training, people assume it's for vanity. They couldn't be more wrong. Like I don't train for vanity, it's all for the way I feel mentally. And they're like, how many times do you train per week thinking there's a science behind it? I'm like, I go to gym nearly every day because the way it makes me feel, not because of the science. Like the science doesn't really affect my training anymore, because I don't care about the way I look anymore that much. I used to focus on the science, but I didn't enjoy it when I did that. Whereas now it's all about how I feel. And that's what I mean. Science is always building, isn't it? So how you feel is probably in your gut feeling. The more you do it, you're going to learn more, aren't you? And you're going to know. No one knows yourself better than yourself.
100%.
David Goggins as well. I think I was listening to him quite a lot. I really want to get his new book. I think that
I've got it for Christmas.
Definitely.
What a guy he is.
I think for the flight back home, I'll probably aim to get it.
He's done a couple of podcasts recently, so there's a lot of content online with him. Because he's obviously launched his most recent book, and he's gone on all the podcasts to try and promote it. So there's so much content you can catch up with.
He's unreal.
Monster, isn't he?
Him and another guy, Cameron Haynes. You would have seen him maybe on the Joe Rogan podcast. He's like a hunter, but he does ultra marathons and stuff like that. He gyms. He's a ridiculous bloke. But looks $1 million, and he does it because he feels great. He loves to do all those sort of bits, and he wants to be fit to hunt and stuff like that. He looks back at his whole thing, but it's all mindset in it. But I know David Goggins looked there like, he looks $1 million, not hair on his body, ripped to shreds. But he does it because of how he's talked about it a lot now recently. He does it for the mental side. It makes him feel good. But then he talks about.
I like how he speaks. Because he was massively overweight, wasn't he?
Massively, And I see it now. Like you would know me at school. I was massive. I think at my biggest, when I first went to Fiji, I was 18.5 stone.
Unreal.
And I was there for 3 months, and I remember I lost 4 stone because I was moving. I felt when I came back, I felt $1 million, and I was playing touch rugby every day. There was no gym. I was to school every day. It was like a 45-minute trek, and I remember by the end, me and my mates used to jog back after school, and a 45-minute jog, whatever, it's probably a 20-minute jog.
Yeah.
Because it's a 45-minute walk. We'd get back to the village and they'd be playing rugby, so you'd be straight down the hill, straight into touch for an hour or two, and it just shredded off me. But when I came back, I felt I was a new person. I felt $1 million.
Did you keep it off when you come back?
I think when I came back, I went into my third year of uni, so I remember playing rugby. I felt $1 million because it was cold as well. I just felt like I could run all day, barely breaking a sweat. I remember when I started doing the disc after the rugby season, it started to put on again. But then when I went back out, it started to go down again.
Nice, mate.
Down again.
Have you gained weight whilst you've been back here this time?
A little bit, yeah. I haven't weighed myself, but
you can just feel it.
Yeah, I remember when I was back in Fiji, I think when I was playing this year, because I was saying to you when I played prop, there's some big boys, I reckon 120 kg plus that I'm scrummaging against. Yeah. And not always just fat, some of them are ripped to shreds, units, massive legs and stuff. They're just different genes, aren't they? They're monsters. And I think I was 113 kg. And then after rugby, I started to actually strip down. And I got down to like 102. So I remember that's when I came out, so I reckon I'll be about 108ish, 110 maybe at a push by the time I go back.
If you ever came back to live here, would you have to make like drastic changes to your lifestyle, do you reckon, to keep the physique that you built in Fiji? Yeah,
definitely, because I didn't do it when I came back from volunteering.
Yeah.
I tried to do lots of things new. When I came back, I moved. I said, all right, I'm going to, for my third year, something not a lot of people do, I don't think, but I didn't stay in halls, but I moved to Chichester to live with some housemates there from my course. Yeah. Because it's something new. Yeah. I tried to change things up. I quit my job at Toby Carvery because I'd saved up enough money to sort of sustain myself there, and I was just coaching and stuff, and I was selling coaching plans for teachers at the uni and stuff for a bit of spare money. Nice. So I got by with that. Just to change things so I didn't fall into the same routine, but I want that discipline, so I did in the end start to put a bit on, but I was happier.
So the word there is discipline.
Yeah, but it's something I'm still working on now because I'm not very disciplined with things. I think even my girlfriend would say the same. She'd say, I always say, I'll do it in a minute. It's probably my pet.
Do you reckon it's just where in Fiji it's all like that's just life for you?
Yeah, well I try my best when I'm there. I don't really. You can't follow what they do, otherwise you never get anything done. But you got to pander to it a bit. But I'm quite laid back anyway sometimes. Yeah. But that can be a downfall as well as a really good thing sometimes. Yeah. But I think if I moved back here again, it'd be in my head straight away that I might slip into my ways. Yeah. Because I think it's not true because you're in charge of what you do. But I've always had it in my head where when I'm there, I feel fitter, I feel healthier, I feel better. Yeah. I think that might just be having a bit of sun in your head. Do you know what I mean?
You've almost like a little bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy that when you're there, you're on it. Yeah. You're healthy. Yeah. Whereas when you're here, you're like,
Yeah. But I proved it to myself last time. It's sort of I was like, I need to get that out of my head. Yeah. Like it was a different person before. That's why. Yeah. So when I came back last year, I didn't come back with my missus then. So when I had free time and everyone was working, I was in the gym.
What would you say to people who feel like they're stuck in their ways here? Would you be like, because obviously they're not on to go to Fiji to learn, or they might, but they might not. They don't need to go to Fiji to go and learn. Like, hang on a minute, I've got a different.
Yeah, I like what you guys you talk about it quite a bit. I've seen you mention it about like changing who you spend a lot of your time with. Okay. So you might be the product who you spend your time with. It's so true. Yeah. It's so true. Even if you notice it, if you hang around with people, you start someone new. After a few months, you'll both start to pick each other's mannerisms up. Yeah. And you'll do things the same. It's ridiculous. It's scary. Yeah. It's so scary because you can be so sure of yourself and what you do, and you start to change things. Yeah. So I think that's a big thing. You don't need to tell whoever's in your life at the time to do one. No. But you just go and attach yourself to someone new. Yeah. And learn a little, like you do for your podcast or when you go and train with new people. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like we'd never trained together, but we went for a little gym session. We were chatting, do things like that, and
network with people who you know are going to steer you in the right way.
Get out there a bit, get a bit more like Fiji style about yourself in the way that you speak to new people. Yeah. You open yourself up. You're not negative when someone says hello to you. Yeah. Because that might be someone that can change your life. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Love that. Love that. How has failure set you up for later success?
How can I say? I feel like I've always been quite lucky. I haven't had much like big failures that stand out that I could mention. But I think what sticks in my head more that I look back in hindsight now and get annoyed at is when I've breezed past things. because I look back at myself now, like say for rugby, and how the levels I got to play at, and people would say, "Oh, you're a really good player. You played really well." But I look back at it now, as I am now, when I'm more looking after myself physically, training better, looking at like being more disciplined with training and nutrition or whatever, and how well I'm playing now. I look back and think, oh, why did I just breeze past that?
Yeah.
Where could I have gone if I'd pushed that bit more? Or, do you know what I mean?
I'm exactly the same with everything that I've done. Imagine if we could apply the same intensity we are, maybe in the last year of our lives.
Yeah. Oh, mate, it's mad.
For all of the years of our lives, we would definitely be different.
Yeah.
Sportsmen, 100%. And in everything in our life, we'd probably be doing different things. We wouldn't be where we are now, would we?
Yeah. And I always think of it. I was like, imagine if you could. It's a bit mad. It's a bit dreamy, isn't it? But you know, when people ask you, I can't remember the question they asked, but like, if you could go back knowing what you know, do you know that sort of question?
Yeah.
And I always say I'd love to go back knowing what I know now.
Yeah.
Imagine if you got to go back to when you were like 10.
Even if I could go back to go back to uni. Yeah. Because I didn't apply myself at uni. I think you applied yourself quite a lot in uni, didn't you? But I didn't like.
Yeah. I didn't get a great score. Do you know what I mean? I didn't apply myself and get first score. I think I just scraped. Oh no, I didn't get 2-1. I think
you get 2-2?
I missed by a mark.
Yeah, I got 2-2 as well.
Missed by a mark, got 2-2.
Yeah.
I always go, I got 2-1, but I think
imagine if we'd applied ourselves better.
Yeah.
In that, and I would have gone away as well. I know you moved to Chester in the last year. We went to the same university.
Yeah.
Would you have not gone to Manchester or maybe somewhere in America?
That's what I think about. Like
I would definitely have done things differently.
Definitely, yeah, just to see. Yeah. I don't regret not doing that.
And then Fiji, you went in your second year, didn't you? Summer.
Yeah.
You'd go in your first year, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I reckon.
Or before.
Maybe, yeah.
100%.
I felt like I needed it then, so it was good timing. But yeah, I would have.
But there's a guy who. Do you know a guy called Mark Flynn?
Mark Flynn, no.
Okay, so I went to uni with Mark, and he's. I think he actually listens to the podcast. He is now in Australia, in Sydney. He's doing like really, really well for himself. He in our first like summer of uni, he went off and lived in like somewhere in Spain for 6 weeks, just working. And I was just like, that's mental. How brave is he? Like, go and do that. And every summer he went and done exactly the same thing. Like, went somewhere and done something mad.
Yeah.
After uni, he went to Sydney. See you later. And I was just like, that guy is so brave and cool. Yeah. He's older than us. I think he's a little bit older. So yeah, you're an old guy, Mark. But obviously, he maybe learnt from like we have and was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go all in. I think he went to uni when he was like 24.
Yeah.
So obviously we were a bit younger. I was at 18, year one uni, and I was just like, this is mental.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely just coasted through uni and through sports teams and football teams. Whereas that's a good point.
Yeah, I think thinking of it now though, like I always say that I don't really have any big regrets because it's got you to where you are. Like it's just having that before when I was younger. Probably it's the best time to do it, innit, rather than having it in 10 years. But now looking back on it in hindsight and saying I don't want to think that later on. Yeah. What if I did this or what if I did that? So I'm always thinking. But I think even if you went back and did it again, you'd be better. We'd get to here now and we'd still say the same. Yeah. Because you'd see the whole. So there's always life in it.
Yeah, there's always room for.
It's how you get better. It shapes you, doesn't it? But
100%, love that answer. So, if you could have a gigantic billboard anywhere in the world with anything on it, but it gets a message out to billions of people, what would it say and why? And it can be like a quote you've seen by someone else or anything. What would it say on that billboard and why? Billions are going to see it. And it's going to massively impact people. Massively on the spot here, mate.
I'll be like, don't think about it too much, just go and do something.
Maybe that would be all I'd say, just don't think about it, go do it.
Yeah, or maybe
like
I might get done in by Nike a bit and just say, don't think about it, just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, I always say, like, you know when people say, I'm not too sure what I want to do. Yeah. Like I know people like quite close to me that are a bit like, they're fine, they're loving what they're doing, but they're like, I haven't really found that thing that fires up in my belly. And it's something my dad always talked about to me, and it stuck with me. Yeah. He's like, you always got to have a bit of fire in your belly for something. Yeah. When you find that, you got to stick with it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Because that'll impact everything else around you as well. And I always say to them, I was like, just keep trying things. Like you're not doing anything wrong. Yeah. Like I think majority of people don't know what they want to do or where they want to go, but you're not going to find out if you're just waiting for something to come and smack you in the face all the time. You've got to go and look for it. So the more you try new things and just get out there, meet new people as well that we just mentioned, I think you're going to find something, or you're going to be a bit better off to do so. Yeah, definitely. Something like that. I'm not too motivational with my speech, not on a billboard, but
no, I'm actually listening to a book called The 5 Second Rule at the minute.
Yeah.
And it speaks about Nike's quote, just do it. It's obviously their whole idea is count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then do it.
Yeah.
So like,
it's cool that.
Stop procrastinating. It's when your alarm goes off in the morning.
Yeah.
Count down. I've started doing it. It works every time because you always everyone wants to snooze, don't they? Really. Yeah. But now it's actually something that everyone listeners should apply. Yeah. When your alarm goes off, count down from 5 and you gotta get up.
That's cool. I might try that.
It works every time.
Yeah.
Every time. So this woman who created this 5 second rule, she was watching the rocket take off. She was like 40 years old, watching the rocket take off on her TV and thinking, tomorrow, because she was mad in depression, struggling financially and all sorts, anxious and everything. Tomorrow I'm just going to wake up 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 when my alarm goes off. And it worked for her. 7 years later, she's now like one of the most motivational women in the world.
Yeah, that's cool.
And her book's like a massive bestseller, 5 second rule. It's such a simple concept.
Yeah.
But it can be like, just do it. And it's life changing because if you start doing, your life starts to change. And like you said, be around the right people, get up when you're supposed to get up, go and do the exercise. I
think within that as well, like when you do get up and do things, you've got to be uncomfortable doing stuff.
Yeah.
You can't always be in your comfort zone.
Oh, 100%.
Like with that lady, like imagine when she was watching that, she was probably in her darkest spot, but like what came from it, that idea that's changed her life.
Yeah.
It's such a simple little thing, but you've got to let yourself get in those moments because you'll just get better.
Yeah.
In whatever it is.
It's mad because I think it's one of the most listened to TED Talks ever. And normally you go for a TED Talk and you go looking for a TED Talk to hear something groundbreaking or new for you to apply to your life.
Yeah.
5 seconds down, countdown.
Yeah.
And it's that much of an impact. It's mental, isn't it?
It's crazy that.
Right, next question.
Try that tomorrow. I'll let everyone know how it goes.
In the last 5 years, what new belief, behaviour or habit has most improved your life?
I think I mentioned it in the old one. Me and my boss and some of our workmates, we talk about it quite a lot, but we sort of joke about it. Like, well, when can we get this quote in here and there? But I got it from Ben Ryan again. The standard you walk past is the standard you become. That's like a staple now, I think, without me even realising it. I think that's really, really important. And I think that's important. You know, we were talking about different groups and people that you'll associate yourself with.
Yeah.
Whether it's family, friends, you got to have that in your time, so you don't let other people shape you.
Yeah.
You take everything in, you absorb it, and then you change your mind on something. Not just going, well, I'm going to attach myself to that because it's working for them.
Yeah.
You've got to think about it for you, and not just when you're working with certain people, you've got to be pushing the limits all the time to what you can do, not just matching what's there. So if you're in a job or something like that, and you go in, there's going to be a standard wherever you go.
Yeah.
You got to try. If you want to stand out, you got to try and challenge that.
Yeah.
And do more. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, I listened to your podcast, and I think, is it Robin, your girlfriend, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
She talked about it in her job that she did, didn't she?
Yeah.
She used to try and do more all the time. She was pushing the standard that people in that job might have done before.
Yeah.
And I related to it because that's what I try and do all the time. I try and do something new. So when I was doing my job before, I was thinking, what could they do for youth in sports? What could they do for this? And then I got offered the job and it wasn't even existing. So you've got to put, that's what I think is something I always think about. Yeah. And that might be, I'm going to push the limit and be a better family person.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a better friend. I'm going to support these people. Do you know what I mean? But you're doing it every day. You're trying to impact more and more people. So I think that's the main one for me. Yeah, standard you walk past is a standard you become, and then you don't turn into too much of an horrible person. I think that's impacting yourself around you as well. If you see something bad going on, I'm not saying go over there and start women and people if they're treating someone bad, but say something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If you see a geezer being horrible to a woman, if you see this or that, you try and do something to change it.
Yeah.
Because you might change their mind, or you might impact someone.
Or get yourself punched in the face.
There we go. Happens. Bob and weave.
What advice would you give to yourself, your 18-year-old self, and what should they ignore as well?
The advice I'd say, don't do things because of how other people might see it. So don't do it to impress people. Don't do something just because of the image or something because you want to be that person. Because things stick in my mind when I can relate to it. Yeah. So it's something when I do presentations and stuff, it's something I really try and do when I'm like teaching people, working with people. I'll try and tell real stories so they can relate to it. Yeah. Or they can imagine it because I'm there and I can relate. They can share my story. Yeah. But I think that because of that, I used to look at someone's life, or look at someone, how they were doing something, I'd be like, I want to do that, I want to be like that.
Yeah.
I remember even early stages of watching rugby, I used to watch so many like highlight videos of like Sonny Bill Williams and people like that. And when I watch, I'm not obviously nowhere near how good he is, but the things I try and do even now, it's like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you've got to do things for how you feel.
How good is Sonny Bill?
He is unreal.
Is he probably one of the best rugby players ever?
For me, yeah. He's probably one of my favourites, yeah.
What makes him so good?
In the contact area, he can just move the ball from anywhere. Like you've just seen, like, he'll be like that far off the floor and he'll pop it up into someone's pocket right there. He's really physical. He's tall, fast. He's just an amazing athlete at the core of it, but his skill set is unbelievable.
I follow him on social media. He's quite spiritual as well, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't know how recent that was. I've never really looked at it before, but I've started following him. And I think he's.
The New Zealanders love him, don't they?
Yeah,
they worship the ground he walks on.
So I mean, even in Australia, he played for Sydney Roosters.
Yeah.
He started out in rugby league, didn't he? And then went into rugby union. So he's unbelievable.
Is he?
Yeah, unbelievable rugby player. You can if you just put in Sonny Bill highlights and see some of his offloads and stuff like that, tears people apart. He'll drag two people in to tackle him because they know what he can do, but then there's gaps all over the place and he'll just pop it all around. I used to watch him so much. I'd try and do it in games. Yeah. Try and do what he does, but I'd see things like that.
So he's like a massive inspiration to you.
Oh, massively, yeah. Just in terms of like, not really in his personal life, I don't know too much. He's quite private, I think. Yeah. But in terms of rugby and how he plays.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like, even when I went to Fiji, people used to say to me, they used to like, or some people used to go, sidestep prop, because when you play in the scrum and you're like 18 stone, you're expected to just run in and be a bit of a bulldozer. Whereas I used to flick a leg out and try and go around people. Yeah. I used to love playing with a bit of flair, and I used to get shouted at quite a bit by coaches and stuff, but like pass, I used to always work on those skills still, even though I was a scrummager, a bit of a bulldozer and stuff. And then now when I'm in Fiji, you need it more than ever because they're ridiculous at it. So I can sort of keep up with it, and I can play the same way. Yeah, massively. You never know when the pass is going to. If you were just waiting for like a perfect pass, it's not going to come. So you have to be ready for anything. It can literally be a bundle of people and it'll pop out and they'd find a way. So you've got to be ready. Yeah.
So they're quite creative.
Yeah, massively. Yeah. But yeah, back to what I was saying, and just because I don't feel I was explaining it well there. We just started talking about the geezer at Sonny Bill. Yeah, what I was trying to say there was, you don't try and just be like someone. Do you know what I mean? Do things be purposeful with what you're doing and what you believe in, and when you're trying to change something, don't just be like, oh, I want to be like that person and follow that to a T because you're not them. Does that make sense? Yeah, that's something I definitely had when I was a bit younger. So when I was 18, I'd say, don't follow that and do your own thing. Be disciplined as well.
Yeah, nice. Love that. Last question, mate. When you feel overwhelmed or unfocused, what do you do?
Well, actually, maybe towards the end of last year, I actually picked up a bad habit when I was in Fiji that I don't think I've mentioned before. But my family smoke. I'd never smoked. But in the village there, it was something they did socially when they drink their like traditional drink. And at first I started going, they'd go outside and tap me on the shoulder. And I was like, well, they tapped me, they want me to go out and have a chat with them. So I'd go out and I'd chat and they'd pass a cigarette round. And I didn't have it at first. But then after 2 months, 3 months there, I started to do it. And then when I came back, when I was at uni, it was like, how was it? Whenever I was doing dissertation, I was stressed. Or like, that was my happy place a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, so I walked, I remember first I went and walked, I stopped smoking when I came back, went and bought a pack of fags, and it was like, and then I smoked for like 2 years pretty much after. It's only like end of last year that I stopped.
Really?
I wouldn't say like smoking a lot. Like I wouldn't be on like a pack of 20 a day or anything like that. But
you smoke every day?
Yeah, even now I find it difficult.
To not smoke?
It was addiction, yeah. Like even this year I had a few slip-ups where I'd be really, really stressed out, maybe a bit overworked and a bit stressed out, and I'd go to that, but it's something I'm trying to stop still now. Yeah. Because obviously you just condition yourself to do it, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was only like for like 3-4 years maybe I probably was like smoking.
Wow.
And then I tried to stop and then I slipped up again, and I had a few slip-ups this year. rollers away when I was getting like you said, overwhelmed, stressed out. You go to it and stuff, but I try to knock on the head now, especially because it'd be like around rugby and stuff. I didn't smoke, but then when it got to the really hard part of the year, and I was on my own or I was bored, I'd be like, and then you just do it, and then after, what the fuck is going on here? What am I doing? Yeah. But it's something I've
so you need a replacement for that, don't you? Really?
But yeah, that's what it is.
Because you're always going to get overwhelmed or unfocused.
Yeah, and people say to you as well, like my girlfriend said to me, she when we met, I was like smoking, but again, it wasn't like a lot. I wouldn't be like everywhere I go, I need to have one. But it obviously gets more and more of that. It's so addictive. She says to me, she's like, you're so strong-minded and good in loads of other areas. She said, but this is one thing that you go really weak at. And I was like, it's true, but I don't like that. I really don't like that. And I think loads of my friends and family know I've smoked and stuff, but I've never really talked about it. But that's probably one thing. Being really honest, when I get to some of those areas, I'm alright. I know I can deal with it because I'm really good in those areas. But that's a staple. It's just something there that used to help.
Here's a question then. There's someone else on the podcast right now telling me this. They're telling me they've got a problem with smoking. What would you say to them to do to not smoke?
Well, when I went to London the other day, 2 of my friends that we used to smoke all the time together, if we went out or if we were just relaxing together or whatever, they were saying like she's properly quit as well, so she's doing really well. And she said that I did have a few slip-ups, but when I slipped up, I didn't just go, oh fuck it, I'm going to go and get a pack of 12, I'm going to smoke them all today. And then I'll do it tomorrow. If you slip up, just accept it and just keep going. You got to keep. You're trying to change your mindset, aren't you? And find a new staple or do something different. So you just got to keep. If you have a slip up, you just got to go. No more of that. Keep going.
I've read quite a bit into like quitting smoking, and they say you need to replace that habit with something else. What would it be? Give someone a habit that they can go in.
Not a vape machine. No, not one of them.
No, because it's basically the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, not one of them.
Basically, we're looking for something that someone can go and do when they feel overwhelmed.
Yeah, it's something positive. So, for me, it's the gym's helped a lot. Because, like I said, I've made that something new. I guess that I needed to do anyway, but I've made that more of a staple.
What about something like meditation?
Yeah,
because that's become heightened in the media, hasn't it?
Definitely. Yeah. It's not. I don't know if that's for everyone. I haven't tried it. If I'm honest, I don't know if it's something that would suit me, but I guess people would give it a go.
A lot of people rave about it. The people who do it rave about it.
Yeah. For me, I think self-talk.
Yeah.
Self-talk's a big one. Yeah. If you can perfect that, that's something I've started doing with rugby. Yeah. So that the psychology, performance and stuff I used to do at uni, and then I tried to apply it with to lower anxiety, because in rugby you're about to get smashed to pieces. Yeah. And if you're in big games doing passes and that.
So what will you say to yourself in a game like that?
It's just like saying it's like any other game. So talking about what I would do in certain situations. For the scrum, talking about my routine. So as I get into position, you have a set routine before you go in.
Do you talk to yourself in normal life as well?
Yeah. It helps. That's what I mean. It helps.
Yeah, because I'm reading the book at the minute called "What to Say When You Talk to Yourself." Yeah, it's actually really good.
I've not read any books about it apart from when I was at uni and stuff. But it's something I could definitely improve in. But it helps. That's something I think would be better for me. Yeah, especially when let's say for my partner, she said to me about you're so strong and like determined, and people will look up to you in certain other areas. But that's one thing when you're on your own. It's a weakness. And I say that to myself now. It's something that's stuck with me, so that's something that's helping me. And I'll talk about it. I was just like, after you've done, like, I always feel like I'll have the cigarette, and after I'll be like, why did I do that? It's not even enjoyable. No. I feel like it's just that first one you might go, and it's because it's niggling in your head. You do it, but after you're back to normal again, and then you'll get it later on. So I always say that to myself as well. I'm like, you know what's going to happen. And all that. It sounds silly. It sounds like you've got power in your toilet talking stuff in the mirror. But it's important to have. That's something I think that would fit me more. I can't imagine doing meditation. I could try it, I guess, but I don't know if it's something I'd be interested in doing. But but like you said, it might work for someone else. But yeah, the gym's definitely been something that helps because it relieves that stress, like we said. It makes you a bit clear in your mind.
The only thing with the gym is, I think smoking for people is like multiple times per day, isn't it? Like you might have 10 cigarettes a day. Yeah. You can't go to the gym 10 times. No. And you can't just drop and do 10 press ups. Yeah. You can, but like
I'd time it like a bit different now. I've started to train like I could have 2 trainings a day.
Oh, you would train twice a day, would you?
Yeah. I used to do it maybe when I want playing rugby, I'd probably do a gym session and another rugby session. But after, I'd do sometimes a small one in the day. But I always feel better training in the evening.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I let the stress go, and then that's when it's.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So that's how it worked for me, and it helped. So not every time you have a fag, even if you do David Goggins style, every time you get the hit, or you think, oh, I really want to have a fag. In the office, wherever you are, do some burpees, go and do something disgusting to make you not want to do it. Do something positive.
Or just get some fresh air, I think.
Exactly. Go for a walk. You can do anything, couldn't you?
It could be multiple things that you try, different habits that you apply. But
I started doing it for a bit, but it worked for a little bit. I'd put money in a pot. So every time I wanted to have a fag, I'd put the money in the pot
that we would spend.
And bought a pack of fags on.
It's a good way of doing it. Yeah.
It saves up and stuff.
But imagine if you did that over a year. Let's say you spent a £5 a week on fags. By the end of the week, you've got, was that 250 quid?
Yeah, doing quite a bit. I think there's an app as well. One of my friends from rugby, I asked him actually ages ago about it, and I think he's quit for like over 2 years now because he had kids and stuff. But that added up, and he had I think by the end of the year it was over £5,000. I think he would have saved.
That's mental, isn't it?
A cigarette, yeah. That's like hundreds of thousands.
That's like a holiday with his whole family.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
Just from stopping the habit, and then probably replacing that with something positive as well. Yeah. So it isn't just that money and a holiday, but it's also he's a better person by the end of that year.
Yeah, and it's not letting it get you down either, because I get really annoyed at myself that I even let that come into my life, because it wasn't there.
Yeah.
And I bet that's in one of the best. It's the only little stain probably on one of the best things.
Yeah.
But that's what happens, isn't it? Bad things are going to pop up. You're not going to be perfect all the time.
No, yeah.
But you've just got to be. You just got to try and change your mindset, and just if you slip up, I'm not going to. You just got to keep going.
Yeah, definitely.
It happens. Do you know what I mean? Because even with that, you're not going to be.
Just don't beat yourself up, innit?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because you're going to end up back where you were. Then when you end up, you're going to have a negative mindset.
Learn to love yourself. I think no matter what decisions you make in the moment.
Yeah.
If you're constantly beating yourself up, like you're living this life once. Do you know what I mean? While living a life where you beat yourself up, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, and I know I feel silly as well that one of my friends, my uncle, he passed away, and he had addictions and stuff like that, and it was because of that he passed away.
Yeah.
And even though it's not that sort of level, it's still an addiction. Do you know what I mean? It's still. People will say, "Oh, it's only a fag," when I've gone out with my mates and that, but it adds up. They're so addictive.
It's not just a fag, it's the decision you've got to make when you go and have it that affects you for the next week or so.
Yeah, and it is the times when you do it that you find I found I'd have one when I woke up in the morning with a coffee. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Wake up in the morning with a coffee, and you're just like, and it's like that sort of feeling.
But you shouldn't really be waking up stressed. Do you know what I mean? Like that's just a sign that something in your life isn't good.
Yeah, but then and
you shouldn't be searching for escapism for a coffee and a cigarette. You should be changing your life.
Exactly. Yeah, and you see you want to reward yourself with it, and it's like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
So when you start to look at it like that from the outside of it, when am I smoking these? You start to realise it's a bit silly, and you see the patterns. Like you finish rugby training, that's mental. It's like.
Smokers are going to hate us in this podcast, aren't they?
Yeah, it's mad.
Dirty habit.
Yeah. But again, it's like if you want to do it, you can do it, can't you?
Yeah, exactly.
But even if you get a little inkling, you're like that it doesn't match with who I am and what I'm trying to do all the time.
No, yeah. Especially, I'm going to probably annoy you here, but where you're working with kids.
Exactly. Yeah,
but that is this is going to annoy people who smoke on the podcast, but I'm a massive against it.
Yeah, it's like a big part of my job when I work with kids. Yeah. I've never had a kid see me smoke.
Yeah, but
it'd be when I was in the village, I'd go way out of the way to smoke so they wouldn't see me, but still I'm telling them something.
Wrong. Yeah, that's still wrong, isn't it? Even if you are hiding, the fact you're hiding is wrong as well, isn't it? Like you're hiding something from people. Just be your authentic self, or be the self that you want others to see.
Yeah. And that's what I think about all the time. That's my self-talk. Loads of different things. You're trying to help people here and there. For myself, when I've since I've been 18, I've always looked ahead and thought, oh, I can't wait to be a dad. Can't wait to have kids.
Yeah.
I will not be smoking when I have kids. It's not happening.
Yeah.
Can't happen. Just can't happen. It's not happening.
But what's that saying? I think it's don't do as I do as I say. It's the worst saying ever, because people do not do as you say, they do as you do.
Yeah.
So
that's one thing I'm still working on. It's something definitely is going to change.
Yeah, but if you want to inspire others around you, be the inspiration.
Yeah,
I think that's the best message we can give.
Yeah, you just got to do it, ain't you?
Don't expect others to do things that you're not willing to do yourself.
Yeah,
and Yeah, love that, mate. There's been some bombs in this episode.
Yeah.
Where can people find you on social media?
On social media, bloody hell.
What's your Instagram tag?
My Instagram is dthreppleton1.
Nice.
Yeah, sorry about the surname.
Spell it.
Threapleton.
Cool. I'll tag you in the in the post as well, and hopefully you can comment the video.
Yeah, we'll do.
7-7 video. That'd be awesome.
Definitely.
And yeah, on Facebook as well. And if you guys want to go out to Fiji, send your applications over. There's already one listener for the Be More podcast who's going over next year.
Yeah, go to the website Think Pacific. It's all there. Go and have a look through the pictures, see a little bit what we do.
Life-changing opportunity. In 30 seconds, what could it do for someone?
Oh mate, you meet hundreds of new people. You feel amazing about yourself. You're in a beautiful place. You're not just going to a resort and laying about. You're going and doing something purposeful. And I know lots of charities that do that. And people go, they're giving £2 a month, or they're going and painting a wall or something. There you literally have the opportunity to impact them through school, education, sports, in the village as well. I always talk to the volunteers about that. They're watching you all the time, so if you're there and before you go and have dinner, you go outside and you've got little brothers and sisters there, go outside, wash your hands, come back in. That's a simple thing, but you can make that a staple in their life. Do you know what I mean?
If someone only has 1 month because of work or whatever, they're using that as resistance to why they can't go, I can't go for long enough.
Yeah, we do 1 month projects.
Is 1 month long enough?
Yeah. Lots of people say to me all the time when we have, because we do like 1 month, 2 month, 3 month projects basically, and they say, and I used to, before we used to do 6 month projects, that's what I used to lead, so I was there for 6 months at a time, so you can have massive impacts there. But I see it time and time again. I'll go and actually do post project evaluations where we've been in the communities, in the schools, to see the impacts, and there's huge impacts
from 1 month.
In 1 month. It's again working with people, working with kids day to day. Do you know what I mean? You merge those relationships, and you fall in love with the kids, the families, and you have an impact on them. Do you know what I mean? You can stay in touch. You can go back again. I still speak to my family that I went to. Every time I get the boat to this little island, my nan, we call her Bumbu, is like grandma. Bumbu Anna's on the beach waiting for me in tears.
Really?
Loving life every time.
Really?
Every single time.
In tears?
In tears. We'd cry our eyes out every time I leave.
Really?
Yeah. I call them every Christmas. It's like my second family. Honestly,
wow.
I can't. It's so hard to explain, but they're so lovely. And when you're there for that amount of time,
so you were with that family for 6 months.
That one I was with for 3 months. That's when I volunteered. But I can go back to the island where I did 6 months, and I know everyone there. And everyone's like, "Who's that white bloke walking around that knows everyone?" But it's because I've spent good time there. I've worked with their kids. After a cyclone smashed their island to bits, we were there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you go for even 1 month, you can change. Even if you can change even one kid's education, you can develop them in certain areas. You connect with them in sports and have a great time, and they remember that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Mate, different world. Love it. Thanks a lot for coming on.
No,
it's been a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
I'm sure there'll be round 3, mate. Well, hopefully this time next year when you come back home for Christmas again, you can tell us about everything that's happened this year.
Yeah, definitely.
About how James gets on when he comes over. I actually played football with him in the week, and he's going to be listening to this. He actually played really well. So if you get him involved with the sport, mate, football you'd be decent. But I'm not sure about anything else. They play football over there or not?
They do. Yeah, they've got like a Fiji FA, but they're not amazing.
They're not a good footballers.
Not too good. Yeah, it's like
are they more rugby
kids,
players?
They all chase the ball and kick each other basically. That's pretty much what it is. But
that's how James plays anyway.
Yeah, we definitely do some football. That'd be good.
Quality. All right, top man.
Cheers guys.
See you in the next one.